Hello students, today's important topic in microbiology is Yersinia enterocoletica. Generally, a short note is asked to be written on this topic. So, as I have told you, how do you have to write? First, always write an introduction of every answer you are giving. An introduction gives examiner a positive light that you know the topic very well and you are not just darting around and writing stories. So write a heading, introduction, and whatever you write, know about the topic, write it in such a comprehensive way that when the examiner sees the first two, three lines, he gets an impression that you know the answer. Okay, so let's see. Yersinia enterocoletica is a gram-negative enteric pathogen. Enteric means gut germs. Gut germ, what gut germs means? It simply means there are many microorganisms which enter via the mouth and reach the intestine and set up their base camp. When they any microorganism would have set up their base camp in the intestine, it would cause a lot of problems, especially gut-related problems. Uh, Okay, and what does it cause? It causes gastroenteritis and mesenteric lymphadenitis. Clinically, it is important because it produces a condition resembling acute appendicitis known as pseudoappendicitis. Okay, pseudo means it feels like there is an appendix problem. The pain is so severe, but it is due to Yersinia. What is the morphology? It is a small gram-negative cocobacilli showing bipolar safety pin staining. Bipolar simply means when the stain is done, since it is both cocobacilli, this pear shaped and rod shaped. So after staining, a shape of safety pin comes. Okay, the organism is motile in 25 degrees centigrade due to Patricius flagellae. Patricius simply means peri, means around, and tricius means hair-like structure. So flagella has a hair-like structure all over it, which helps it to move. But important point is it becomes non-motile at 37 degrees centigrade, which helps in laboratory identification. So this is one of the rare microorganisms which has both motile and non-motile properties. What are the sources and transmission? Infection is acquired through ingestion of contaminated food or water. Pork products and unpasteurized milk are common sources as the organisms can survive and multiply at low temperatures. You might have heard in your family that earlier that people should not drink raw milk because of this infection only. And it lower temperatures are very suitable to it. Okay, what are the virulence factors? Yersinia colitica has two virulence factors. First is that it produces invasive proteins which help in intestinal invasion, and it produces Yersinia outer proteins, YOPs. Okay, more like POPs, which interfere with host immune response. So you can understand how pathogenic it is to humans, and it leads to lymph node involvement. What are the clinical features? Patients commonly present with fever, abdominal pain, and diarrhea. Involvement of mesenteric lymph nodes produces right lower quadrant pain mimicking appendicitis. Okay, post-infectious complications such as reactive arthritis may occur. I have told you that what it is an important concept. So let us spend some time again. Yersinia outer proteins, what they do, they interfere with host immune cell response. So they infect the mesenteric lymph nodes and right lower quadrant, just where we have our appendix. And somebody who has seen the appendix pain feels is such that their intestines would be about to burst. So that pain is similar to the infection of Yersinia enterocolitica. Okay, so that is why always when we are in suspicions, we do investigations because there might be many cases interlinked together. What are the laboratory diagnosis? Diagnosis is made by stool culture. Cold enrichment at 4 degrees centigrade is a characteristic feature as the organism grows very well at low temperatures, giving it a competitive advantage over other enteric bacteria. Simply means the lower the temperature, the easier it is for enterocolitica to survive. Okay, and the only way we can diagnose is when we raise the temperature to 37 degrees centigrade, where it becomes non-motile. So I think we have done it properly. See you in the next topic. Thank you.